Okay, someone wrote in and requested that I write a tutorial on how to use the pen tool in Adobe Photoshop. I believe I made this logo originally in Illustrator, but I will show you how to do that in Photoshop using the pen tool. So the first thing we want to do is just create a new layer. I did not have anything to go off of when I created this, but I'm going to show you real quick how to trace. Selected my foreground color, and then with the eyedrop tool I'm just making sure that I'm using the same color that I originally used for that foreground. Then I'm going to begin by clicking up here in the upper left hand corner where that one little section begins. Then I'm going to click down here, and if you hold down the shift key you'll notice that even if I'm a little to the right there, it's going to constrain so that it is straight up and down. Then I'm going to release since there's no arch to that. And then I'm going to go up here into this upper right hand corner. Now this time don't let go of your mouse button, but then drag it out. And you can see as I drag, we begin to see an arch develop. The closer to this anchor point I am, if I go to the left, you can see that that arch stays very close to that anchor point. The further away I get, the further away that arch is. So just sort of drag it out to where it's pretty close to what we have originally. And then I'm going to release that. Now where most people mess up with their pen tool is that then they want to go over here and click the finish. Now if we do that, from this anchor point, I'm saying that the next line that I'm going to draw is going to begin by going in this direction with the line that I have here. So if I click this, you'll see that it does all sorts of funny things. It adds that arch at the top that goes all the way up and down, and we don't want it to do that, so I'm going to hit Command Z or Control Z for you PC users. And then by holding down the Option key on a Mac or the Alt key on a PC, we're going to grab this and we want to drag it all the way back down into that anchor point right there, and then release it, and that way we're not going to start in any direction, so that when we close this now, we have that straight line. You also may notice, if I hide this other layer, that this isn't totally straight right here. What we can do is come over here and select this little white arrow, and then select that anchor point right there. You'll have to click it twice, make sure that it's black, solid, so that you know that it is selected. And I'm just going to use my arrow key and bump that up. Looks like I need to bump that up 2 pixels. And now we have that straight up and down line. And do the same thing for each of these, of course, doing the colors. For this one, I did a gradient overlay, as you can see, the darker gold. For these 2 layers, I just simply created another layer. Let's select our foreground color to be this color. And I believe what I did was just grab the Ellipse tool and drew out a very wide circle. And then by holding down Ctrl-T or Ctrl-T for the PC users, we can go into free transform mode. And then I just sort of rotated that to a position that I thought looked okay. Move it up there, somewhere like that. Hit return or enter to accept it. And then of course, by holding down or right clicking on the PC, on a MacBook, I have to hold down Control and click. I'm going to create a clipping mask. And what that does, of course, is it only shows with what is on the layer beneath it. So it's only actually showing right here. And that way, it's not showing over the gold or everything else. Now, of course, I did this later when I had both of these created. But that's how you use the pen tool. Just remember to drag those anchor points in if you're going to make a sharp turn like we did, and then use the white arrow to make any fine-tune adjustments that you want to make later on. Hope this helps. Thanks a lot. Until next time, this is Dave.